Hi everyone, welcome. Today we are covering Unit 2, Lesson 17, 2.17, and it's all about nucleic acids, one of our organic macromolecules. Our objective today, we are going to recognize that nucleic acids are macromolecules with information on how to build and maintain an organism. We're going to understand the roles that DNA and RNA play in the body. And we're going to understand the structural similarities and differences between DNA and RNA. This is part of our state standards for cellular processes. All right, so let's begin. All right, so nucleic acids, they are large organic macromolecules, macro meaning large, that store and transmit genetic information, and the code in our DNA, using RNA as well, leads to our making of proteins. Okay, so that code in the DNA tells us how to build those proteins. Okay, all living things contain nucleic acids. And the two types of nucleic acids are DNA, which is deoxyribonucleic acid, and RNA, which is ribonucleic acid. Okay, both of these are a type of nucleic acid, and they are important for individuals because the code in the DNA is the information to build that organism. All living organisms. And we also need RNA because the RNA helps the DNA in building those proteins. And we're going to talk all about how we go from the code in the DNA using RNA to make the proteins in Unit 5. But today we're just introducing the nucleic acids and the similarities and differences between them. Okay, so DNA is double-stranded, and it has the shape of a twisted ladder. We also call that shape double helix. Double helix. And the shape of the DNA, the discovery of it is accredited to Watson and Crick. They were two scientists that came up with this structure. They built a model, like a metal model, of this DNA. But we can't forget Rosalind Franklin and Maurice Wilkins, because without their work, Watson and Crick might not have discovered this structure of the DNA. There's a whole story behind that. If you're interested, please look it up, or talk with me, and we'll talk all about it. It's an interesting story, and there's changes coming out even today that I'm hearing about. All right, so nucleic acid structure. All right, nucleic acids are organic macromolecules, those big molecules, and they are built of individual units. And each of those units are called nucleotides. Okay. The nucleotides are the smaller building blocks of the nucleic acid. And the structure of the nucleotide is that it has a 5-carbon sugar, a phosphate group, and a nitrogenous base. Okay. A phosphate group contains a phosphorus, right? Phosphate, phosphorus, and oxygen. Okay. In our picture, it is a part of the backbone, and it is the little circle. It's kind of a orangey peach color in my picture, with the little P in it, right? That's the phosphate group. And then the sugar is this little structure here. It's a ring. Okay, it's got carbons and oxygen in a ring. Right, it gives us this little like pentagon shape. Okay, that is the sugar, and The third part is the nitrogenous base. And in here we see that they are these geometric shapes and they have letters in them. Okay, and this is where they combine with the other backbone to make the double helix, right? Okay, so that's the three parts of the nucleotide. Okay. RNA also has those three parts, except for the sugar is different. It's ribose instead of deoxyribose, and their nitrogen base. They also have 4 nitrogen bases, but one is different. But we have some more slides that explain that a little bit better. Okay, so the nitrogenous bases, there are 4 for each DNA and RNA. And DNA, the 4 nitrogenous bases are adenine, thymine, cytosine, and guanine. Okay. And we abbreviate those, right? We have A for adenine, T for thymine, C for cytosine, and G for guanine, right? Just the first letter. All right. The only difference for RNA is that instead of the T for thymine, it has a U for uracil. So 2 of the bases have double ring, right? And it's adenine and guanine, the A and the G. The other 3, if we include the uracil for RNA, are single rings. And that's cytosine, thymine, and then in RNA they have uracil instead of thymine. Okay. So we can see the double rings, these ones are bigger. The single ring, they are smaller. And I'm pointing that out because that's my memory trick. The double rings are called purines. The single rings are called pyrimidines. And my memory trick is that the bigger molecules have the smaller name and the smaller molecules have the bigger name. But again, that's just a memory trick for me. It might not work for you. Okay. Complementary base pairing. So the way DNA functions is it's a code. And cells, are replaced. They grow, we need more cells, and we need that code in the DNA in all these cells. So we need to be able to replicate it. Okay. We also need to be able to read that code. And the way that this functions is through this complementary base pairing. Okay. So certain bases only pair with other certain bases, and that is how we maintain that code. Okay. And the complementary base pairing rules are that A pairs with T, or T with A, only, and then C pairs with G, or G with C, either direction, right? So A and T go together, they are paired. C and G go together, they are paired. Okay. They bind together with hydrogen bonds. The A and the T form 2 hydrogen bonds. The C and the G form 3. I always have to have my memory trick, and for this one, it is A and T have the straight sides, right? They're straight letters. C and G are curved. So the straight letters pair and the curved letters pair. All right. So let's look at some differences between DNA and RNA. Okay. We're mostly going to focus on 3 different types of RNA. There's just one type of DNA, but there are multiple types of RNA. And the 3 that we are going to look at are mRNA, which is messenger RNA, rRNA, ribosomal RNA, and tRNA, transfer RNA. All of these are single-strand nucleic acids. DNA is double. Okay, so that's our first difference. DNA is double-strand, RNA is single-strand. The sugar is different. In DNA, it's deoxyribose. In RNA, it's ribose, and it's right in those names, DNA and RNA. And then again, that base difference. Okay, the T is replaced with U in RNA. Okay. RNA is our helper. It's going to help take the code from the DNA. The DNA stays in the nucleus. It can't go out into the rest of the cell, the cytoplasm of the cell, but the RNA can. So the RNA, right, that's the messenger RNA. And then the other RNAs also help with making those proteins. All right, so we have a quick activity here, and this is just a recording, so you could pause it here and go through and do this activity. But we're just going to be pairing the nitrogenous bases and identifying the phosphate group and the 5-carbon sugar. Okay, so pause it here and you can go through this activity. Also, you can indicate where the hydrogen bonds are as well. All right, so I'm back and I'm just going to tell you the answer. If you have any questions about this, please let me know and we can go through this. But make sure you're always pairing A with T and G with C. And in this activity, it's showing you even using my memory trick, where the shapes with the straight sides, those are A and T, and the shapes with the curved sides, those are C and G. Okay. The phosphate groups are the little circles here. You should be coloring those blue. And then on both of the backbones. And then the 5-carbon sugar is this little pentagon, and again on both backbones. The backbone is the phosphate group and the sugar, and then the nitrogenous bases pair together to hold the two rungs together. And then the hydrogen bonds are what hold those rungs together between the nitrogenous bases. All right, here's our summary. Nucleic acids are organic macromolecules, the building blocks of which are the nucleic acids. DNA is double-stranded. RNA that we look at are single-stranded, and the bases have that special pairing to maintain the code, either through replication or through protein synthesis. Here's our vocabulary that we mentioned throughout the slides today. Okay, and again, I'm going to go quickly through the polling questions. And you can pause it to answer before you see the answer. Okay, first question. What are the building blocks of nucleic acids? A, amino acids, B, nucleotides, C, glucose, or D, fats? And those building blocks are nucleotides. Okay, next question. What is the shape of DNA molecules? A, double helix, B, spiral, C, ladder, or D, circular? A, double helix. The term that describes how nitrogenous bases bind in predictable pairs? A with T and C with G, and that is A, partner base bonds, B, convenient base pairs, C, complementary base pairs, or D, free base pairs. And it is C, complementary base pairs. All right, well, that is it for this lesson. Please contact me with any questions. See you soon. Bye.